In the videos we're about to take a look at, if you're anything like me, they're going to make you angry because they made me angry. In fact, they made me so angry, I had to take some time to stop before I filmed this video. I didn't want to say anything that could create problems. So I took some time, kind of, brought myself down, and now I'm going to do this video. We're going to watch these. I'm going to talk about what happened. I'm going to talk about how we fix it, because that's the point. Watching what happens in these videos without any solutions to it isn't going to solve anything, isn't going to change anything, and just will lead to us being angry about something else in the very near future. Let's take a look at one of these videos. Let's take a look at the first video.
Stop! Get out! Get out! What's wrong with you? Back up! Back up! Back up!
It happened last year too.
Back up! Y'all did that for a vape, bro.
Y'all did that for no reason.
For a vape.
Call your mom.
That is the weirdest shit ever. Bro, what the fuck? For no reason. Bro, put him in handcuffs for a vape.
He was literally standing there. He wasn't arresting or he wasn't.
Welcome to Escaping the Echo Chamber. Now, this first video, you've got this one kid, and yeah, I mean, so just fun. Take a look at what's going on in the news right now. In the news right now, we're talking about crime waves. In fact, we have a story, I believe it's in Texas, where you have this dude who doesn't want to, who is asked to wear a mask by the cashier, and he storms out of the grocery store. Leaves his stuff there. Now that could be it. Like, and that, if you're that pissed off, that should be it. Storm off, leave your stuff there. I'm not paying for this. I'm not patronizing this store. Instead, he goes to his car, gets a gun, comes back, shoots her in the head. Now, that's actual crime. That's an actual victim. That's an actual bad individual. That's a bad dude. You have this kid who's standing there, presumably before the camera was rolling, who was vaping. Are you serious? You have time when there's talk about the violent crime. Numbers are up all across the country, and I believe it, because I realize what's creating these problems. But with that happening, you've got time to have how many cops surrounding one kid who was vaping? Are you serious? It's not just a waste of time, it's a waste of resources. And then what you do to this kid, like, it's absurd. So in addition to having stupid people with badges, and apparently, like, what is the criteria to become law enforcement? You just have to apply and not have a record? Because, like, these are some dummies. And so I couldn't hear it, but they're saying that you do hear different instructions coming from different cops, but they're saying that one of the instructions was take off your bag. So from hands up to putting his hand here, like he's putting his hand through the loop. He's attempting to put his hand through his loop. Boom. Hit him with the taser. Hey, I guess we should be fortunate this person actually, that cop actually knew the difference between a taser and a gun. I guess we should be glad about that, Like, that's the bright side. But that's not it. Because there's more that happened here in Ocean City. Well, not here. There in Ocean City. Let's take a look at the second video.
You resisting! I'm not resisting! You tell me what you arrested me for! Take your knee! That's what you're doing!
Now, this is the video that really pissed me off. This is the video that, had I made this video about what I saw as soon as I saw it, yeah, I could have said some stuff that could that might be considered. Anyway, let's not talk about what I might have said, because we're going to focus on what I'm going to say. Once again, you've got these dumb, and some of these guys seem power hungry and just seem like there's a quote, and I can't remember the quote, but it's about if there's no law that you won't enforce. You know what I'm saying? It's like if there's no set of instructions that you can be given that you won't say, okay, I'm going to react violently. I'm going to violently enforce these laws, regardless of what they are. You're a thug. You're a thug. You're just a mercenary, a thug. You're a problem. Like, don't call yourself a hero if that's your mentality. I will obey whatever they tell me to. But I don't want to just focus on these idiots that are bringing this amount of force on kids vaping. Like, why is this even your business? Why is it the government's business what people are putting into their bodies? And the funny thing is that these vaping laws aren't just existing in Ocean City. You've got vaping laws all over the country being enacted. In New York, like a flavor vaping ban. It's like, okay, so in the same breath as saying, oh yeah, the war on drugs is bad, and notice that these idiot politicians that are saying this clearly don't actually believe it, and aren't actually going to work in accordance with ending the war on drugs, because they're just replacing it with other things, from sin taxes on tobacco, to making it harder to vape, getting rid of flavors, these bans on vaping, and then raising the ages. Oh, like, this is insane. This is ridiculous. This is stupid. This is government that has too much money, too much time on its hands, and too many idiots willing to just do whatever they're told. And I'm talking about the cops. So they're willing to just go ahead and enact violence on anybody because whatever their bosses tell them to do. You know what? Like what if they decide to say, hey, you know, we're banning sugar. You see anybody with sugar, you take them down. But these idiots will do it. These idiots will do it. And that's the problem. So that's one of the problems. So it's a problem that you have idiots that are willing to enforce stupid laws. But, and this is where we start getting into solutions. Because, yeah, you've got a bunch of idiots that will enforce stupid laws. The question is, why do these stupid laws exist? That's where we need to be looking at. Because now it's time to get solutions. So just marching against the cops, because here's what's going to happen. And politicians will be at the front of channeling this anger, this rage, this energy into marching against the cops. Oh yes, we need to, police brutality, and we need to, there needs to be accountability, and these cops need better training. And no, you stupid need to stop making stupid laws. That's where the marching needs to be. And so, if you take a look at what happened last year, there was unrest, marches after George Floyd. There were marches There was marches in Staten Island, but guess what the marches in Staten Island were about? They weren't about George Floyd. They were about getting restaurants shut down because of, oh no, we need a lockdown. And then there was the January 6th march, riot, protest that then was directed at the Capitol building. And you will think that all of these things are unrelated. And I'm like, wake up, people. Stop letting this culture war obscure the reality from you. You've got the same enemies. We have the same enemies. We have the same enemies. The government is the enemy. These politicians are the enemy. And that's what's key. Because the politicians don't mind when you march against the police. So that's why, see, y'all think they like BLM because they care about black people. They don't. Just take a look at what they do, and you'll realize these politicians, Democrat, Republican, or whatever, they don't give a damn about black people. They like that they're marching against the police, so they're like, yes, 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 because that lets people work out some energy, some tension, and it gets people the impression that they're actually accomplishing something, even though the politicians know they're not. Even when they were protesting at Max, you had the Republican politicians who were like, yeah, it's great. Because they're just, protesting for something very localized. Oh yeah, we want to be able to run our business. And the cops came down there and shut it down. But okay. But what really scared the hell out of them, what really had them scared, what really had them just up in arms, and it's why they can't let it go. It's why they're talking about what happened on January 6th in the same light as 9/11. And trust me, there's no comparison. There's no comparison between thousands of people getting murdered and politicians being scared because the chickens came home to roost. There's no comparison. But guess what? That's where the protests need to be, at these politicians. So whether it's state politicians, whether it's county politicians, whether it's the legislators who keep making stupid laws, are the ones that need to have crowds of people out in front of their offices chanting and letting them know, listen, stop the stupidity. We're coming for you. We will get you out of office. We will take all of you out of office. Stop passing stupid laws. Put the pressure on them. And here's where the cops come in. Because, like I said, you got a lot of dumb cops that will enforce any law. Anything they told you to do, they'll go ahead and enforce it. Cops can prove me wrong. You know how? 1, stop enforcing stupid laws. 2, point the finger where it needs to be. These politicians have no problem pointing the finger at police. Police need to point the fingers right back saying, you're telling us to do this. That's what this police need to be doing. If these police are smart, stop enforcing stupid laws and stop pointing the fingers back at these politicians who are making dumb laws that are creating enemies between the people and the police. Have some sense. Stop letting them use you. Stop letting them put you as a buffer between them and the people. This shouldn't be rocket science. But these are the solutions. Police can help this. The people can help this. Stop being distracted and start looking at who's pulling the strings. Start looking at who's responsible for this stupidity. Start looking at who, and even if you're worried about safety, guess what? These cops have better things to do than worrying about people smoking e-cigarettes. It's stupid. It's asinine. It's a waste of time and resources, especially when people are getting killed. What's the murder clearance rate? You've got murder clearance rates under 50%, but they got time to worry about people smoking on the sidewalk? These are the things that we need to do. We need to be marching on legislatures. So marching on city councils, marching on these executives, whether mayors, whether governors, who are advocating for these stupid ass laws. We need to make them feel the pressure and let them know, listen, stop playing with us. Stop playing with us. Because once we bring the drama to their doorstep, then they'll be like, oh, they see me. The tricks, the smoke and mirrors of me trying to get them to protest against cops, it's not working anymore. Yeah. But it's going to take not allowing ourselves to be manipulated by these pathetic, lying, manipulative politicians, legislators, executives. We've got to bring the focus to them. They are the enemy. They are the ones that keep making stupid laws that are creating enemies between the police and the people. And police, stop enforcing stupid laws. So as always, if you like the content, please give me a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe. If you say, oh no, I don't like what you said about cops, feel free to give me a thumbs down. But don't just give me a thumbs down and run away. Give me a thumbs down and say why in the comment section. I will address it either in the comment section or in a future video. I'll see you next time.